Hi, my name is Muhammad Ashir, and today I will be talking about an introduction to web design and production. I will also be covering the basic constitutional elements of a web page. I was also talking about the different image formats and how to design, develop and test your own web page as well. So let's start. So what is a web page? A web page is a single page which users view when first opening a website. And these pages can be displayed in web browsers such as Microsoft Edge or Google Chrome, and websites are structured using hypertext markup language. Web pages can also include text, images and links. Including these elements within a web page will make it more professionalism and stylish to the users. In the next slide, I'll be talking about the three main basic constitutional elements of a web page, and these make modern web pages stylish and very professional. The main constitutional elements of a web page are HTML, CSS and JavaScript. HTML defines the core structure of a web page, and it defines various elements in a web page, such as text, images, buttons, links and forms. A simple analogy to think of HTML would be a skeleton of a human body. Without it, the web page would just be blank. CSS is used to style and format the content defined in HTML, so it enhances the visual appeal of a web page by controlling elements such as fonts, colors and layout. JavaScript is a programming language that adds interactive features to a web page. It allows for dynamic behavior, such as responding to user actions, validating forms, and updating the content without reloading the page. Now, there are many different graphic image types in a web page, and factors such as file size, quality, and compatibility play a major role when deciding what image to use for a web page. These are some common image types which are used. PNG is a high quality image format that supports transparency, making it ideal for logos, icons, and graphics with sharp edges. It supports millions of colors and is a good fit for real images. It also supports lossy compression, meaning that it maintains good quality and reduces file size. Downside is that image quality can still be lost and it doesn't support transparency. JPEG is a widely used format for displaying colorful and high quality images. It uses lossless compression, which results in no image loss, quality loss, and it maintains a sharp and transparent look for images. The downside is that the file size for these images can be higher. GIF is most commonly used for simple animations, and GIF also supports low resolution static images. It is commonly used due to its support for animation and support for no quality loss. However, it only does support 256 colors, making it unsuitable for high quality animations images. Finally is SVG. SVG is a vector-based image format that scales without losing quality, making it perfect for icons and illustrations. It is commonly used due to its scalability without quality loss and small file size and usability with CSS and JavaScript. Downside is that you do need to learn how to program or code, and it is not good for complex photographs. And what are the uses of tags in web page production? So tags are crucial for structuring and formatting a web page. Starting tags in HTML are enclosed with angle brackets, and end tags end with angle brackets with a slash in between them. So here are the key uses of tags, and the main uses are defining the basic structure of a web page, creating text content in headers and paragraphs, navigation hyperlinks, inserting media and images, organizing content, creating forms, and enhancing page structure. In the next slide, we'll be looking at different HTML tags which are commonly used. So here are the main tags which you may find within a website. Starting one is HTML, which represents the root of the document. Next, you have head, which stores the metadata, links to JavaScript and CSS files, viewport sizes and character encodings. And these elements are not visible to the user as they're not important for the user to see. Body tag stores all the visible elements the user will see in the document, and these could be headings, the text, and everything else that you see when you view a web page. Then you have H1 and H6 tags, which define headings, and the higher the number, means the tag will be more important and the format of the text will be bigger. P tags are used to write paragraphs and add information within the web page. Anchor tags are used to add hyperlinks, and image tags are used to embed images within your web page. And unordered list tags format information as bullet points or a numbered list, and a form is used to collect user input. And finally, navigation will allow the user to navigate through the web page efficiently. Next, we'll be talking about how to design, produce and test a web page. And creating a web page involves a series of steps that must be followed to ensure it's functional, visually appealing and user-friendly. A modern web page development process follows best practices and how a website should be responsive and provide a good user experience. The next few slides I'll be going through the stages of it. So the first stage is planning. So planning your website is essential before designing and developing it. It gives you a clear idea on what the structure of the web page will have and the target or who the web page is targeted at. Gathering the requirements of a web page will enhance usability for users accessing the web page. The screenshot shows the requirements of the web page, which are over here. The next stage is design, and the design stage of a web page should include the types of colors, image formats, and text and overall designs of the web page. Alongside this, a wireframe should be sketched to visually view an example of the web page. Finally, creating a responsive layout and organizing navigation and UI elements are mandatory for a good user experience. So in this screenshot, it shows what the web page is going to look like and the colors that are going to be used. And this allows you to visually see what the web page will look like and will make it easier when developing it. Next stage is development, and the development stage is the core stage for creating your website. Using an integrated development environment, you'll create 3 separate files via HTML, CSS and JavaScript, which will make it more easier and to code and will also make it much more cleaner. You will use your plan and a wireframe to support your development and produce the desired web page. For my web page which I created, I did not use JavaScript as I only created one web page, and it was already quite functional with the use of navigation tags, and it also made it interactive. But for the creation of a full web page or website, JavaScript is essential to use for an interactive website. These are the screenshots of the code which I used to create the website. Next stage is testing, and after developing the website, it must be tested across different browsers and devices to ensure cross-compatibility and to see if everything is functioning properly with no bugs. Optimization and accessibility tests are also done when professional websites are added onto the internet. Screenshots show the website working on 2 different platforms. So over here, it is working on Microsoft Edge, and this is working on Google Chrome, and this shows that it's working on different browsers, which will make it easier for users to use. And this is the final result of the web page after designing, developing and testing it. Everything worked out perfectly, and this is a good example of how to create a web page if any of you are interested. And it's also very important to create a theme in the design stage, which will allow you to make it much more neater and cleaner. And these are the stages to make a web page available for general viewing across the internet. Making a web page available across the internet has a series of steps, and the first step is preparing and developing the website. The website should be made with HTML, CSS and JavaScript along with other technologies. It should be thoroughly tested and should be responsive, and it should also be used on different devices. Next, you should choose a web hosting service, and this is needed to store the website files and make them accessible to users. Different types of hosting services are offered depending on certain needs such as budget or performance. Next, you need to register a domain name, and this is essentially the address of your website. Users will type in the domain name in the search engine and your website will come up, and it's very important to have them. Domain names should be unique, relevant and easy to remember as well. And domain names are registered through domain registrars, and they usually require an annual renewal. Next is uploading the website files to a hosting server. And after securing your domain name and hosting service, you upload the website files to your hosting server through the file transfer protocol, and you can use platforms such as GitHub to efficiently upload your files. Next, you need to configure the domain name settings, and this is a very important step as this links your domain name to your hosting server's IP address, and without it, your domain name will not be able to function and users will not be able to search for your website. Proper DNS configuration ensures that when users enter the website address in their browsers, they are directed to the correct web server. Once you've done that, you want to test your website by loading it onto a variety of browsers and devices, and any bugs found can be fixed. And finally, you need to maintain and update the website regularly. And this is the end of the presentation. A variety of fundamental web design and production topics were introduced in this presentation, and you should now be confident using these principles in your own work. Handouts of the finished result will also be given out, and thank you for listening to my presentation.